Hello friends, and welcome. Here's a question worth asking right now. If an AI agent can edit files, run builds, and chat about your codebase from inside your IDE, what does your terminal workflow need to look like to keep up? Just this month, on June 17, 2026, Qt Creator 20 shipped a full AI agent chat panel powered by the Agent Client Protocol, compatible with Claude Code, Codex, and GitHub Copilot. AI native Linux tooling is not coming. It is already here. So in this video, we are covering the 5 command line tools that form the foundation of a high-performance Linux workflow in 2026: tmux, Neovim, ripgrep, FZF, and strace. Individually, each one is powerful. Together, they are a complete, keyboard-driven engineering environment. Let's start with the one that keeps your work alive, even when your connection does not. Alright, let's talk about tmux, short for Terminal Multiplexer, currently at version 3.6b. Think of it as a window manager that lives entirely inside your terminal. It lets you create sessions, and each session can hold multiple windows, and each window can split into panes, all in one screen. Here is the most important thing about tmux. When you disconnect, the session keeps running on the server. Imagine you kick off a 45-minute database migration over SSH. Halfway through, your VPN drops. Without tmux, that script is dead. With tmux, you reconnect, run tmux attach, and there is your session, still running, right where you left it. That is the core use case, but daily it is much more. You keep your editor in one pane, a log tail in another, and a git status below, all visible at once. Next up, what if your editor could live in that same terminal environment at IDE quality? Now look at this. Neovim is a modal text editor, meaning you switch between modes, one for navigating, one for editing. It is configured entirely in Lua, and version 0.12, released in March 2026, brought in native insert mode autocomplete and a built-in plugin manager called vim.pack, so you no longer need a separate package tool to get started. The feature that makes Neovim IDE grade is its built-in language server protocol client. You point it at a language server, and you get go to definition, inline diagnostics, and intelligent completions, all without leaving the terminal. Add the telescope plugin on top and you get a fuzzy file picker that works like a search bar for your whole project. Type a few letters, see matching files instantly. The result is an editor that is fast, scriptable, and lives right inside your tmux session we just set up. But to search across thousands of files in that project, you need our next tool. Here is the interesting part. Ripgrep, Command RG, is a search tool written in Rust, currently at version 15.1, and it solves a real pain point. Grep is slow on large codebases. Ripgrep automatically reads your .ignore file and skips everything in it, so it never wastes time scanning your node_modules or vendor folders. On a real project with tens of thousands of files, the difference is dramatic. Grep might take over 10 seconds, crawling irrelevant directories. Ripgrep returns the same results in a fraction of a second, with syntax-colored output showing file name, line number, and the matching text highlighted. You use it exactly like grep. Type RG followed by your search term and you are done. The key insight is that by respecting gitignore by default, Ripgrep is not just faster, it is smarter. It understands your project structure without any configuration. And if you want to make that search interactive, picking results with your keyboard in real time, that is where our next tool comes in. FZF, short for Fuzzy Finder, is currently at version 0.70.0, and it is one of the most composable tools in the Linux ecosystem. The core idea is beautifully simple. FZF reads a list from standard input and gives you an interactive, real-time search over it. You type a few characters, the list filters instantly, and you press Enter to select. What makes FZF special is that it plugs into everything. Pipe ripgrep file output into FZF, and you get an interactive file picker. Pipe your tmux session list into FZF, and session switching becomes a keyboard search. Press Ctrl-R and FZF replaces your shell history search with a fuzzy one, so finding that long Docker command from 3 days ago takes 2 seconds. Press Ctrl-T while typing any command, and FZF inserts a file path for you. There is no magic here, just the Unix pipe composing small tools into a powerful navigation layer. Together, tmux, Neovim, ripgrep, and FZF handle almost everything. But when something breaks in production and the logs go silent, you need one more tool. Strace is the production debugger that engineers reach for when every other signal goes quiet. It is at version 7.0, and what it does is attach to any running process and show you every system call it makes in real time. A system call is how a program talks to the Linux kernel. To open a file, write to a socket, or fork a child process, everything goes through these calls. When you run strace with -p and a process ID, you see a live stream of exactly what that process is doing. The power here is that it cuts through abstraction. In a Kubernetes environment with containerized microservices, your logs might say nothing useful. But strace does not care about your framework or your container runtime. It watches the process directly. In practice, you might discover a service is silently failing because it is looking for a config file at a path that does not exist inside the container. One Webronaq call returning ENOENT, no such file or directory, and the mystery is solved. That one insight can save hours of guessing. Now let us bring all 5 tools together into a stack you can actually start building today. Alright, let us wrap up. You now have 5 tools that form one coherent daily stack. tmux keeps your sessions alive across disconnects. Neovim 0.12 gives you a Lua-configured LSP-powered editor inside that session. Ripgrep 15.1 searches your codebase in milliseconds, respecting your git ignore automatically. FZF 0.7 wires everything together with an interactive fuzzy layer over files, history, and sessions. And Strace 7.0 gives you the ground truth about what any process is actually doing when abstractions fail. The install order matters. Start with tmux, get comfortable with sessions and panes, then layer in Neovim, ripgrep, FZF, and finally Strace. The AI-native Linux IDE era that Qt Creator 20 signaled this month in June 2026 is already reshaping workflows. The engineers who thrive in it will be the ones with a sharp, fast terminal foundation underneath everything else. That foundation is exactly what you just built. Thanks for watching Webronaq, and I will see you in the next one.